Like I said, please make sure and unmute your phone. And when you're done asking your question, please mute it so everyone can get it. Thank you.
Hey, Coach, this is Shay. I'm just wondering if tonight could have gone any better for your two guys.
Shay, I don't think so. I think that's from what we were hearing on Ochai. You know, we there was maybe an outside chance at 18 or so, but that didn't work out. And I'm sorry, with CB, there was an outside chance with 18 or so, and with Och, we thought the entire time, at least he and his agent was, in that 12 to 16 range, and he fell right there. It's very interesting sitting here and seeing how when the draft really started for Och, it started at pick 10, and then when somebody went unexpectedly, that opened up Cleveland to take Och, and so it couldn't have gone any better than what it did.
Bill McStaper.
Have you ever done that walk? Have you ever done that walk from the crowd with Christian? Have you ever done that walk from the stands with somebody like you did with Christian?
No. Every time that we've done it, that I've been here, the players were in the green room. We haven't. I don't know that we've had a players attend that weren't invited to the green room. And of course, obviously, it would have been very appropriate for CB to be invited to the green room if he was going to go that high. But his agent felt very confident that he needed to be here because he was going to go that high. I also think there were more kids and their families in the stands than what I've ever seen here too. So I wouldn't be surprised if there were a total of, if there was 20 or 21 in the green room, I bet you there was that same number in the stands also.
Was it an effort to get up there after Ochai? Did you have to hustle?
To get up to CB?
Yeah.
No, I had all kinds of time. The agent told me I had time to. He said, "You got time to go to the bathroom, do whatever you got to do, and I'll let you know when it's going to happen." And he gave me 7 minutes notice, so it was easy.
Good.
Bill, how excited are the two players, and what do they bring to their new teams?
Well, I know they're both excited, but my conversations with them was very brief, 5 seconds or whatever, because they had to go do their other deals, but the families were extremely excited. It's life changing, and in the span of seconds, even though you knew it was going to happen in the span of seconds, lives are changed for a long time, maybe forever. And they were excited, and what they both bring is winning culture as much as anything. They're winners, and they'll add to whatever culture is already in place and existing there. They'll make it better. And from a talent standpoint, CB playing with Jokic, and what a good cutter CB is. I mean, you stop and think about, I don't know if CB could play with a better big man than that dude, because he's such a good cutter and mover without the ball, and he's such a great passer. And Och, they wanted perimeter shooting, and nobody's going to shoot any better in the draft for the most part than what Och does. So I think it's a great fit for both of them.
Bill, how much had you heard from Denver and Cleveland in the days and weeks leading up to this?
I haven't heard from Cleveland much, but other on our staff had. I hadn't heard much. I talked to Denver a lot. So we knew all along that Denver really liked him. We just thought, we didn't know if 21 was too high. And then when Denver basically got Oklahoma City's pick at 30, and we, the agent knew that there was a safety net, there was a stop point that he wouldn't go lower than this. And then the fact that the way his momentum was just so positive in the last, 3 or 4 weeks, that he just kept inching up the draft boards. And, I actually had people call me and want to trade for, pick him in the mid-teens, and just couldn't quite get it done. So he went 21, which is probably about where he should have gone, but there was a chance he could have even gone higher.
Coach, could you offer us a sort of a big picture comment on just what tonight's developments is due for what's been obviously a remarkable season for your program?
Yeah, whenever you focus on a season, the team always comes first, and and when team comes first, that means individuality and things like that do not. So we had such a good team this year that the guys all bought into we instead of me. But when the season's over, individuals always come first. And so the off season is about the individuals, the in season is about the team. And so it couldn't have gone much better. The only way it could go better, if David could somehow, get picked in second round or sign a two-way deal tonight, that would be a good night. And Ochai the same way. So we're still I'm not Ochai, but Remy the same way. We're still hopeful that there's still some good things out there. But I think it's been a pretty good night for anybody that supports Kansas basketball.
Bill, how much better can Ochai get?
Well, both of them are this way. People say Ochai since he's 22, and CB's 21, that they're closer to the ceiling. That's a bunch of crap. They can both get better. They were both late bloomers. I think that Ochai, his intangibles have improved so much from a competitiveness, even though he always was, but he's learned that there's a different gear he got to get to compete at the highest level. And when you work as hard as he does in that fifth gear, every single possession, every single drill, every single shot, you're going to get better. So he's a good shooter now, great shooter. He's going to become exceptional. And CB, when he tightens his stroke up just a little bit, you're going to see a huge jump with him, because right now he's a terrific player, and he's going to get more and more consistent from the arc.
Bill, what stands out about Ochai's character to you?
Well, he's very unselfish. He's very thoughtful. He's definitely a we guy. He's conscientious. He cares about others. I think from a character standpoint, not those CB in the same group. It's a short roll call to find people that are better people / what you hope your son could grow up and be, more so than these two. It'd be hard to find. And so they'll add value just from a intangible standpoint and from a culture standpoint. I guarantee it, first day they step into the first practice.
Do we have any other questions for Coach?
It's not me.
Yeah, Bill.
Chris, that's pretty good.
Yeah, Bill, one more. When Ochai went back to Kansas after testing the draft waters and deciding not to stay in the NBA draft, what were those conversations like with him? What kind of sense did you get from him? Was he disappointed? Was he motivated? What?
I never tried to talk him into coming back. I encouraged him to try, and then as he tried, he wasn't probably getting the feedback that he was hoping he'd get. And he didn't take it as a negative. He took it as a way, I'm not good enough, I got to get better. So he handled it perfectly. The first time I talked to him seriously about coming back was when I think he had already made his decision to come back. And he and his family just sat down and said, now let's go over the game plan. Let's go over what the plan is for me and things this year. And at that point in time, I thought his mind was probably made up. That's the first time I tried to talk him into coming back. I didn't try to at all. I thought it was best to give him space, and he's so mature and his family's so good, they were going to make the right decision.
Bill, whether it's Grady or MJ or Kevin or anyone on your current team, is there anyone that you're thinking about who you could be talking about next year, same time this year, next draft?
Well, I think there is. I actually believe it could. No telling who it's going to be, but you got to start with Jalen. Jalen has gone through it. Jalen's shot 26 this year. If he shoots 38 next year, he'll be a first round pick. I'm confident of that. So I think Jalen, and I also think Kevin, even though we haven't coached Kevin yet, but he's one of. They're both guys that made good decisions to come back, because they both probably weren't exactly where they wanted to be. But I think with having a good year, we'll be talking about those guys being potential first-round picks next year.
Bill, when you talk about those,
and also obviously Grady and MJ too. But I was just talking about the ones that have tested and coming back and now can take that big jump.
Coach, when you talk about those conversations like you have with Ochai and you've had with other guys, Christian said it was close and it was a hard decision for him. I mean, to see him go where he did tonight, it probably shouldn't have been a hard decision, huh? Can you take us through what that was like?
No, I think, I told Christian that I thought he should try. I told Christian, and if you try, you got to go both feet in. You can't half-ass try. I didn't push him. He would have done it anyway. But what I wanted to convince him to do was the right thing and the unselfish thing to do to see where he was. And after he got going, it was obvious that he wasn't coming back because people said too many good things about him. He had too much positive momentum. And, I think winning created that. I really do. And, if you're just goes to show you, if you're one of the leading scorers on the team that wins a national championship, you're going to get drafted, and this was one of those times that I do think winning really, these guys would have got drafted regardless, but winning put them in a situation to go much higher maybe than what they would have.
Do we have any more questions for Coach? All right. Thanks, Coach. And thanks,
All right,
media.
guys.